Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. There is one college football game on deck this Saturday, and it is must-see TV. It's the Army-Navy game live from New Jersey, one of the best rivalries in all of college football. You know that when you put Army and Navy out there on the gridiron, when these two teams meet on the field, you are going to get their absolute best. It doesn't matter if they're undefeated. It doesn't matter if they're winless. It doesn't matter what the stakes are. The stakes are beating Army or beating Navy. That is what these two teams look forward to all year long. That is what these two fan bases look forward to all year long. We are going to be in for a great game on Saturday. The season for both of these teams will be made on Saturday afternoon, and we are here to break down everything you need to know for the Army-Navy game on Saturday. So again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Again, bringing you college football analysis, predictions, news, 24/7, 365. The season's slowly wrapping up, but again, we're doing this game, taking a break, and then bowl predictions start up on Tuesday, so we've got tons more content coming your way for the rest of the year. But as always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. Again, if you have not signed up for our expert picks yet over on our website, thegridironexpert.com, you need to do that, because we're going to be putting out a spread pick for every single bowl game. And our spread picks currently are some of the best in the country, hitting nearly 60% of those bets, hitting 65% of those bets over the last 6 weeks. And again, you're not going to find a mark or a price better than what we're offering over the gridironexpert.com. It's a year-long subscription. Make sure to go sign up for that today, along with everything else down in the description. Help us help you, help build our channel, and continue to spread the word and the love of college football, the game that we love, and of course the game that you love as well. So let's take a look at Army-Navy, guys. Let's take a look at the Black Knights and the Midshipmen. This is the 122nd meeting between these two programs. So right there, that's enough to show you how historic of a rivalry game this is, right? 122nd meeting between Army and Navy. And here's the crazy stat, guys. After losing 14 straight from 2002 to 2015, Army actually now has Navy's number. Army has won 4 of the last 5 against Navy, including a 15-0 shutout just last year. 15-0 shutout for Army over Navy just last year. So, Army was just getting manhandled by the Midshipmen. Everybody wondered, would the streak ever end? They finally did it. Jeff Monken deserves tons of credit for the job that he has done at West Point. And Army, again, now kind of turning into Navy themselves in the sense of dominating this rivalry series for, again, about the last 5 years or so. The Black Knights come into this game with an 8-3 record. Again, Army being an independent, Navy being a member of the American Athletic Conference. Army 8-3 enters with a 4-game winning streak. They had some impressive victories on their resume. Victories or performances, I should say. Even in a loss, Army looked good. They beat a solid Western Kentucky team who has a quarterback in Bailey Zappi who was very close to breaking Joe Burrow's record for most touchdowns thrown in a season. They only lost by 6 points on the road to Wisconsin, and only lost by 14 to the ACC runner-up in Wake Forest. Black Knights losing that game 70-56, an absolute thriller against the Demon Deacons. Navy entered this game the exact opposite, 3-8. So Army 8-3, already clinched a bowl berth in the Armed Forces Bowl against Missouri. Navy 3-8, obviously will not go bowling. This is Navy's bowl game. This is the bowl game for Navy. Midshipmen are 3-8. They did end their season with a win over Temple. They did beat UCF, and they did beat Tulsa. And when you look at Navy, guys, this could have been a very different season for them. 4 of their 8 losses came by 1 possession, including a 7-point loss to Cincinnati, a playoff team back in October. So the talent is there for Navy. They just were never really able to get over that hump, never able to win those close games. Can they do that now against Army? So we take a look at the offense. Well, you know what you're getting from Army and Navy. You're getting that triple option. Army knows what's coming. Navy knows what's coming. Any team that faces Army, Navy, even Air Force, you know what's coming. It's a triple option that's so difficult to stop. So we don't even have to talk much about the passing numbers because it's going to be very rare that you see Army or Navy pass in this game. But you look at the Black Knights first. They are averaging 35.5 points per game and ranked second in the country with 301.2 rushing yards per game. They are only behind Air Force. So Air Force is number 1 in rushing. Army is right behind them at number 2. 10 players on Army's team have at least 100 rushing yards. So again, that just shows you the talent that they have and obviously how much they tend to run the ball. But outside of the 10 players, guys, there's two that we want to focus on. One of them is Tyrell Robinson. Tyrell Robinson has 582 yards and it's averaging a whopping 9.9 yards per carry. 9.9 yards per carry. And then, of course, you have their star quarterback and Christian Anderson, who has 519 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. Anderson has proven that he can be a decent passer. If Army needs him to throw the ball, crunch time, 2-minute drill, they've got to get down the field quick, Anderson can do it. I have faith in him to do that. But those weren't even his passing numbers, guys. 519 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. Anderson, with that triple option, contributes greatly on the ground. So Robinson and Anderson is the duo that you want to watch out for in this game for Army. Those two players are going to be vital to the Black Knights' success in terms of trying to exploit this Navy defense. When you look at the midshipmen, their offense, much, much different than Army's in terms of statistics. Yes, of course, they are a rushing team. Navy actually ranks 7th in the country with 228.8 rushing yards per game. So right there, the 3 military academies at the FBS level, Air Force, Army, and Navy, all ranking in the top 7 nationally when it comes to rushing yards per game. But Navy's only averaging 20.4 points per game. Navy, for the last couple of years, has not had the talent to run their triple option attack that they had in the past. Back when they had Keenan Reynolds, back when they had Malcolm Perry. They don't have those guys anymore right now. And that's been a major problem. Navy was rough last year. Navy's been bad this year. 20.4 points per game. They've been held to 20 points or less in 7 of the 11 games they played. 20 points or less in 7 of the 11 games they played. But like Army, Navy has plenty of players that are contributing on the ground. They have 7 that have rushed for at least 100 yards, but they are led by 2 fullbacks. 2 fullbacks are leading the way for Navy. You've got Isaac Ross, 608 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year, and then you've got Carlinos AC, who has 546 yards and is averaging 9.6 yards per carry. So we're not even talking about quarterbacks necessarily for Navy. You're talking about the amount of fullbacks that Navy utilizes and how dominant they've been on the ground this year. Ross, again, 608 yards, AC over 540 and 9.6 yards per carry. So both these teams have plenty of talent. Both these teams have about 1 million players that can contribute on the ground, but each have about 2 or 3 that are their main contributors. And we just talked about those on the offensive side of the ball. When you look at defense, guys, for Army and Navy, you come into this game, it's how do we stop the triple option? You know exactly what you're going to get. It's going to be a very hard and physical game. It's going to be a game that's dominated in the trenches. So which team's going to come out on top? Which team has an extra push? And which defense can make just enough stops, just enough plays against this option attack? When you look at Army, they're allowing just 22.8 points per game. They've allowed just 103.6 rushing yards per game on the year. And you look, they've been hit or miss against some dominant rushing teams. They only allowed 79 rushing yards to Liberty in their season finale. Not bad. Liberty, a solid rushing team. Army allowed 175 rushing yards to Air Force. Army did beat the Falcons, so it didn't really matter. Beat them 21-14. They allowed 198 rushing yards to Wisconsin, but only lost to the Badgers by 6. So some of the yards they're allowing are there. Teams can run on Army. Teams can run on Navy. But Army is still doing enough at the end of the day to keep these games close, or maybe to even come out as the winner in those games. So I'd say they're hit or miss in terms of stopping the run. The most common opponent they have, the Navy, obviously is Air Force, and Army won that game by a touchdown and only allowed 175 yards to Air Force, which sounds like a lot to many, but when you consider Air Force was averaging over 300 rushing yards per game, Army did a pretty good job of keeping them in check. Army has held 7 of their 11 opponents to 20 or less, and I want to go back to what we said about Navy a second ago. Army has held 7 of their 11 opponents to 20 points or less. Navy has been held to 20 points or less on offense in 7 of their 11 games. So that's a big stat right there. Army doing great defensively. Navy struggling so much offensively. Can Navy find any success on offense against this Army defense? Navy defensively is a little bit worse than Army, just like they're a little bit worse than Army when it comes to the offense. The midshipmen allowed is 29.6 points per game. They're allowing 131.6 rushing yards per game. Both those marks worse than the Black Knights. Navy also played Air Force much earlier in the season. They allowed 176 rushing yards to Air Force, but lost that game by 23-3. Navy only mustered 36 rushing yards in that loss to the Falcons. So if that is any indication of what's going to happen here in New Jersey on Saturday, in theory, Army's going to run away with this game, literally. If Navy turns in a defensive performance like they did against Air Force, and an offensive performance like that too, only mustering 3 points, Navy will lose badly to Army on Saturday. if that's how they play if they play like they did against Air Force. Navy defensively also has allowed at least 30 points in 6 of their 11 games, and that to me is a cause of concern. Again, they've had a lot of one-possession games, 4 of their 8 losses by 1 possession, but they've allowed a lot of points, and they've had a lot of blowouts as well. Blown out by Air Force, blown out by Marshall, blown out, who was it, I guess, earlier in the year? Blanking on the name now. But Air Force, Marshall, Memphis, that's who it was, Memphis. They got blown out by Memphis. So all those games, 2 of those games allowing over 30 points. They allowed 23 to Air Force. So Navy, again, consistency is going to be key for them. And again, motivation will play a major factor as well when you look at this game, guys. Army wants to win this game. Navy obviously wants to win this game. But this is Navy's bowl game. Not to say this isn't important to Army, not to say Army is going to come in less motivated than Navy, but Navy has absolutely nothing to lose. So expect the midshipmen to come out there and, leave everything out on the field. Last game of the year, last game for these seniors. They have nothing else to play for after that. What can Navy do? What can Navy throw at Army? Can they do anything different than what they've done all season long? So who do we have winning this game, guys? Again, the Army-Navy game, one of the best rivalries in all of college football. It's the only college football game on Saturday, so you have no excuse for not watching it. You have no excuse for missing this game up in New Jersey. So the pageantry, the history, the tradition, the style of play, all of it is so unique and it brings so much to the table for college football, the entirety of college football. So in New Jersey, guys, again, we believe this is a game that's won in the trenches. It's a triple option game. Really comes down to who gets enough push and really who can step up defensively. And for us, that team is going to be Army. Army has dominated this series, again, winning 4 of the last 5. They shut out Navy last year 15-0. I don't know if they shut out Navy this year. I really don't think they were able to do that. But they will beat Navy for the 5th time in the last 6 years. They will win the Commander-in-Chief trophy again. Army will. Right now, I just don't think Navy has enough offensively to get things going against the Black Knights. Army has clearly been the more consistent team. Clearly has been the better team, sitting at 8-3. Some quality wins, some quality performances. They're going to turn in one more. They're going to take down Navy, and then they're going to head into their bowl game at 9-3, facing off against a Missouri team that has a horrendous rushing defense. And of course, we will have a prediction for that here in the following days. But Army wins the Army-Navy game on Saturday up in New Jersey. And the last note I want to make, guys, we predicted that. I do want to say before we conclude, obviously, this is a very historic football game, and when you're watching this game on Saturday, just make sure while you're enjoying it, while you are, relishing in, again, the tradition and the pageantry, to give a lot of credit to not just the players out there on the field, but the men and women in the stands as well. To the alums, to the current enrollees at Army and Navy, to those at Air Force, even to those in the Coast Guard and the Merchant Marines. We talk about this rivalry, guys. I don't know if you knew this, but the Coast Guard actually has a Division III football team. Only has about 1,000 people there, about 1,000 enrollees at the Coast Guard. Their mascot is the Bears. They have a big rivalry against the Merchant Marine Academy. It's the Secretary's Cup. This is the Commander-in-Chief's trophy between Army and Navy. The Secretary's Cup is between the Coast Guard and the Merchant Marines, and the Merchant Mariners tend to win that game quite a bit. But we have a bunch of service academies across the country. Army, Air Force, Navy are the 3 FBS ones. We got a couple down at the D3 ranks. But regardless of who you support or whether you're watching FBS or whether you don't even care about Division III, we've got to give a lot of credit to them. Thank them all for their service, everything they do to this country, because what we have to remember is that we would not get to be watching Army and Navy play football on Saturday. We would not get to support the Coast Guard or the Merchant Marines. You would not get to watch your favorite team this season or at all if we did not have the sacrifice and the bravery of all these men and women that continue to serve our country, that have served our country, and have done so much for us. We would not have that freedom and that luxury if it were not for them. So as you're watching these games, guys, as you continue to watch these games going forward, make sure to keep that in the back of your mind. Continue to support them and thank them for everything that they've done. And again, we, everybody here at the Gridiron Expert, sincerely thank you for all of your service. We really do. So having said all of that, guys, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert. We are so pumped to get to talk about this Army-Navy game, and we are so pumped to get into bowl predictions on Tuesday. So that is coming up. We are getting very close to bowl predictions, so stay tuned for all of that. We're already working on them, so stay tuned. Bowl predictions every single bowl game from now until the end of the season. You do not want to miss it. As always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, Check out everything down in the description below. Go sign up for those expert picks if you haven't already. I can promise you do not want to miss out on those. Some of the best marks and best prices in the country. It's a year-long subscription, so why wait? Jump on it now, especially before bowls start. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.